Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming along to our latest mondaycom user group, our mug for June 2023. Great to have you here. Seeing some people who've been here before and some new joiners, so thanks for joining us. So just to run through quickly what we're going to cover today and introduce to you who is on the call this morning. So myself, Martin from Provident. Happy to talk to you today about the new features that we're going to be showing today. We're going to talk a little bit about some new features that we've seen that we think might be of interest to you, and we're going to show you a couple of different ones of those and explain how you can benefit from them. We're also going to talk to you a little bit about Monday AI, which is a new upcoming feature not yet released. We've got a little sneak peek into some of the features of it, and hopefully to give you an insight into what's happening there. So in terms of who's talking today, myself, I've mentioned it already. Also joining us from our CS team, Amy and Graham. Amy has been on two previous mugs, I think, and this is Graham's first time. So welcome, Graham. Thanks for coming along. So just to run you through real quickly what the agenda is. About 30 minutes in total. We'll have some time for some questions at the end. However, if during the course of anything that myself, Graham, or Amy are talking about, you've got a question, please raise your hand, please open your mic, please ask a question. We'd love to get some interaction from you. It helps us better answer and give you content that hopefully makes sense for you. Don't forget, if you do ask a question live during the mug, you get a free mug, which keeps your drinks either hot or cold. So well worth it this time of year. It's a very mug. It's a very cool mug, in fairness to you. So don't forget that. So I'm going to hand over to Amy now. She's going to take you through a few new features. Then Graham's going to talk about some other new features, and then I'm going to come back and talk to you about Monday AI then as well. So Amy, over to you.
Yeah, perfect. Hi, everybody, and welcome to this month's mug. It's great to see, as Martin said, a few regular faces. What I'm going to do today, first off, is just go through the new Monday layout. So there is going to be a change coming. It's going to be happening over the next 6 to 8 weeks, and it is going to be rolled out across the board. So what I wanted to do, because I know change can sometimes throw people, so what I kind of wanted to do today is give an overview to what that new layout is going to look for people, so you don't get too much of a fright when the change does happen. So I'm just going to share my screen. Can everybody see that okay? Perfect. So this here is the new layout. As you can see, it hasn't changed dramatically. However, it is a lot more cleaner. There's more space for working on your projects here in the main view. This be especially even on a small screen if you're using it through the app. So over on your left, it just means basically you've got more space for productivity. So over here you've got your home bar and then your workspaces, and they will remain. And then you've got like your different, you can add from here then your different workspaces, your dashboards, and there's a few new elements in that as well. Being able to import, and then a quick link then into the apps also. And then what we can also do as well is make this space quite a small bit bigger. So by closing this navigation, and then if we move over here to the right-hand side, this here is where it would have formerly been down on the left-hand panel. So here you've got your your notification. So that would now be just a quick pop out. Then you've also got your inbox, which is now, it actually pops out from the screen. So from here as well then, to get out of this quickly, then you can just click on, instead of going into the X, because it's a pop out, now you can actually just click on the escape button, which is quite handy as well. And then from here you've got, you can invite members quickly to your boards and to have a look at your workflows. And then on the next section here is your app. So this is where you'll be able to power up on your workflows with the different apps. And then you've got your search icon. So this obviously allows you to search everything that's on within your instance and on your boards and in your workspaces. And then you've got the magic button, which is the help button. So this here is where you will be able to explore areas of content and of course the most important button, I think, on the Monday platform is the contact us. So this here is where you'll be able to interact with the support team in Monday. And then obviously you've got your knowledge base and then the community if you want to ask any questions in there also. And then lastly, to show you on here is your avatar button is up here. So you've got the more important things within here. So it'd be like my profile and then your admin access also. And then actually to get this view, and if you want to test it out before it actually comes into play, what you'd need to do is to click into your avatar section. And then if you click into Monday Labs, so our Monday Labs is kind of like our laboratory where we test lots of new features, and it's actually should be at the top for you. So this here will be your new layout with top bar. So you can just deactivate it, but I actually really like it. So I'm going to keep it activated. I think it's really user friendly, and again, it just gives like a more spacious, cleaner version of Monday. So that there is the navigation, or sorry, is the new layout. And I'm wondering, is there any questions coming from there? If you've any questions or queries on that, do you like it? Do you not like it? Do we have a thumbs up? Do we not? I know change is always going to be something that it's hard to do. It's like when they tell you to put your watch on a different hand, it doesn't feel right. But yeah, these small things that they do on Monday there's lots of testing that's gone in the back end and before it goes live. So it is proven to be more beneficial to have these changes in place. I think, is there a question from Tom, or is it just that you like it, Tom?
No, it looks as somebody who's only new to mondaycom and far as I've been using for the last 6 months, 6 to 8 months, it won't be a massive challenge for me to hopefully just get used to the new format. It does look like it's cleaned up the pages a lot more. It's not as busy a screen, and it also with most other packages or software, most of the navigation is actually the top, so it's kind of making it more uniform and from that perspective. What for somebody who maybe is more seasoned or a legacy user, what kind of, would it be just a case of reiterating those benefits to those, or if old dog new tricks comes to mind?
So do you mean like what massive changes has there been, or well, from what I can think, it's just that it's more user friendly. There's more space. It has become this whole front page is more spacious for you to do your projects on, to have more of your own work on this. So it's less noise of Monday, we'll say, but more of your projects and your workflows and workspaces that you want to have. So it's more visibility of what you're working on and maybe possibly what your teams are working on also.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Tom. So yeah, this, as I said, it's in Monday Labs. If you want to have a little tester of how it goes and maybe have a few hours of how you see the changeover going. So as I said as well, it will be in the next 6 to 8 weeks that changeover will take place. And next, what I wanted to show you guys is some feature updates that they've actually done on the Gantt chart. So I'll just make my page slightly larger. So here is just a standard project plan that we would have had that I have created in my test. So you've got your planning, your execution, and then ready for the launch. And the most important things, I'm not sure if anybody, like we have some people that are Gantt lovers, and that they love to use Gantt charts, and they would only work from the Gantt charts, which is great. And the most important thing, I think, when you're using a Gantt chart is to have your timeline set up correctly. So with this being said, if I go into my Gantt view, so obviously you have your 2 sections here where you actually have your timeline by date, which is great, and then the information here of the actual phases. Yeah, so what we wanted to show, I'm not sure, as I said, for those who love living in Gantt, or if those who aren't aware, what you can actually do is update all of your statuses from here. So if you click into each of these items, you can actually update each status from this section as well. So it means that you can actually work solely from the Gantt chart view. And so currently what we can do from this, if we can actually take a snapshot of where your Gantt, where the chart actually is. So if we click into baseline, and this is really good now for where you can see how far your chart, your project is moving, if it is progressing, how far it is progressing as well. So if we just add a snapshot to this here. And then see, you can actually see where it has changed here, and you can see where it has started, and here you can see that my project is late, or if you're on time, and it will actually tell you from where it starts, and then obviously if it's on time or if it's late. And the great thing about this as well is that it will actually, if you're working solely from this view, it will actually, if you click into the main table, it will actually add that baseline into the columns, and it will actually show you what the difference is between where you wanted to start and where you want to finish, and what the difference is in those days and how much you've gone over. And then I also wanted to show you then the new and very exciting feature, because I do know that a lot of people have asked about this. So the new feature we have is that you can actually you can export your Gantt chart to a PDF, and this is the whole chart. It's not just what you can see on screen. So if I click into the magic 3 buttons, that is the settings, click into more actions, and then you can see here there's an extra button which is export to PDF. So with that being said, it will actually, if you have a chart that's going to roll over for a few months, it will actually export the whole thing onto that PDF, which will make it easier for you then to share this view with internal teams or external teams as well. So that, I think, is just something that was really important, a new feature that has been added, because it's something that I know a few of my clients that I've been speaking to have been interested in. So we finally have that there. Is there any questions then on the Gantt chart?
Yes, I have a question, if possible.
Yeah.
A question I've been asked by the team is start and stop date, but they'll also have a target completion date, so a deadline date. How can we best demonstrate the target date at the end?
Sorry, I missed you there for a few seconds, Rich, in between. You said that you wanted to have your start date and then you have a stop date, and the question was?
To see whether the program start and stop date is in advance of that and meets that. How would we best demonstrate that? So we've got one.
I think you're cutting in and out there a little bit. I'm not sure if it's just myself or is that for...
No, yeah, we're losing you there, Rich, a little bit. So, so I think the question, if I understand correctly, was if you've got a start and stop date on a task, how do you see if you're on time against it? Is that what you're saying?
If that is the question, the answer, I think, would be that it would show you here. So if you put in your start time or your start date, so it would be like your baseline. And then you have your project end date as well. So in here, it will actually show you in red. Am I right? Would that be correct in what I'm saying? Because I think that's what I'm picking up.
Yes.
What is?
Yeah. Sorry, I think that is the answer to this baseline feature. Is not something I'd seen before. So that could be, say, a project completion date, a target, and then we could see our timeline on the same record. Before, I've only ever seen it where it's two rows per project, and it looks quite cluttered. But this seems to be the solution, I think.
Yeah, and as I said, so you click in here with your baseline, so it's good to use this baseline when you're starting your projects or if there's a change in the project. And then again, if you want to pop back into your main table, it will actually show you then the difference in the days of if it's going to be late, or if you're running over as well, and it shows you what your start date is. So the dates will all populate back into the main table as well.
Okay, so in the main table, is the baseline a specific type of column?
So that was created when I added the baseline in here from the chart. I took a snapshot, so I clicked in here and I was able to take a snapshot snapshot of where the project would currently stand, and then that then would populate the baseline in the main table.
Got you. Great stuff. That's great.
But yeah, so it is great that, I mean, if you're working, as I said, if there's Gantt chart lovers, that they can actually work solely from the Gantt chart, the Gantt view. And then as well, if you want, then if there's other people that aren't so much and they need the favors in favor of the Gantt chart, then they can move back into the main table. And then these will be populated as well.
That's great. Thank you very much.
Perfect. If you have any other questions as well from the team, obviously if they're not on this call, if you have any other questions afterwards, you can just feel free to reach out to me and we can go through it and I can have a session with you guys as well. And there's actually one more thing that I wanted to show you guys. I know in the last, it's just regarding to notifications. So on one of the mugs that I had done previously, I showed you guys that you can actually filter by person, which is fantastic. But now they've updated the notification section again, and you can actually now filter by word. So if I was to type correctly, I'll use my keypad. Oh, apologies. And there's a whole audience, you forget how to spell. So if I now I can actually search by word. So this is also great. So if there's any projects that you have, specific projects, you can now search by person and you can also search by word. So it enables you to be able to work a lot quicker and find things quicker, and so be able to in turn work smarter, not harder. So they're just a few of the features that I think were standout to me in the last few weeks. And if you have any questions on them, feel free to reach out to me. If you have any questions afterwards, yeah, feel free to reach out.
Great, thanks, Amy. That's really cool. Nice to see some of those. Simple, but
effective.
With good differences as well, I think. So
yeah,
good. Great. Okay, Graham, over to you then. I think Graham's got a couple of other features he's picked up on that he's going to show us then as well.
Hi everyone, how are you? I'm Graham, so I'm customer success representative here at Provident. So I want to show you 2 features today. So the first feature, I'm just going to share my screen. Can you see that okay, Martin and Amy? Fine. Does everyone see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first feature I'm going to show you today is how to connect the boards and mirror the columns. So you can see here I have my main board and my low board. So to start off this, you need to have just two boards set up, and you can see here that there's a plus sign here, which is the add column. So the first thing you need to do is you go to connect boards, and you can see here it says connect boards. So you select your boards. Now before I connect my 2 boards together, my main board and my low board, you need to create a 2-way connection. So you see the box there, you need to click on the 2-way connection. Just one sec, just move this out of the way. You need to create the 2-way connection, and you click then the board that you want to connect. So I'm going to connect my main board with my low board. I'm going to click on connect boards. So you can see now that the board is connected successfully. So you can now visualize data from your connected boards with the mirror column. So now I'm going to create the mirror column. So now you can see here that you get different options of status, group, board, date, or no selection. So I'm just going to go with status for today, just for the test. Stick status in there. So now you can see that the link from my main board and my low board are on each other. So you can see here that the low board is on my main board. I go on to my low board. You can see the link to the main board is there as well. So just back to my main board now. So for the items to go from my main board to my low board, I need to set up an automation. So this would be the most probably trickiest thing, but I'm just going to show you now what automation you should use for this to work. So you go into your automation center. You click down to item creation. I just want this one here. And you scroll down, and it is 3 or 4 rows down, I think. Yeah, 4 rows down. And you can see here it says when status changes to something, create an item in board and connect board to a column. So for me to set up the automation, I have teams as my column. So when teams changes to, it could be anything, it could be project delivery. I'm just going to pick finance. So when teams changes to finance, then create an item in low board, apologies, low board, and connect main board with low board. And to finish off the automation, I need to click back on item and press done. So you can see here now that the automation is set up, and it says when Teams changes to finance, then create an item in low board and connect main board with low board. So I'm going to create that automation now. Just a heads up, just to make sure that you have the automation on, because of course, if the automation is off, it will not work. So that's the automation there. So I'm just going to do a quick test now on, see, hopefully it works. So just say new task, stick that in there. And then, of course, I picked, as the automation, I picked finance. So I'm going to put finance in on Teams. And you can see now, it takes a few seconds. You can see now that the link there is from my main board to my low board. And just to show on my low board as well, you can see there that that's linked to my main board and low board. So that's how you connect the two boards together. And just to show you the automation again, if you just want to have a quick look, just that's the automation you need for this to work. So this is how you connect the boards and mirror the columns together. So that's the first feature I wanted to show you. Now the second feature I have a question there, Rory, is it?
Hi, yeah, and just a question. For when you're mirroring the boards, can you set that up as a two-way mirror? So I've set up two forms, and our normal form, it works through a normal process, but we have a second form for, say, external users to fill in, and we have a separate board, and I've mirrored into the main board.
Okay.
But if I fill out something or change, like I have a lot of parameters taken from that form. If I fill out something in the initial form, in the external form board, it doesn't always link into the main board. Is that because the automation happened before I made the change and it doesn't two-way mirror? Or is that quite a specific, sorry, it's quite a specific question.
Yeah, no, you're okay. Yeah, that is a confusing one now. So did you have the automation set up before you changed?
Can I show it to you?
Yeah, I think you should be. Yeah, you can show me there. Yeah, walk away. Stop sharing screen.
Share. Sorry, I can't share my screen. Only meeting organizers and presenters can share. I might give you a show.
Yeah, sorry. I was going to say, Rory, is if you want to talk to Graham afterwards, and maybe he can run through that with you, it's probably best.
Maybe you can give me. I give you a quick email and get into the call if that's okay, Rory. We could get that.
No problem at all.
That sounds okay. Yeah. So, is there any other questions?
Yeah, I've got another quick question about mirroring, if possible.
Yeah.
We've got two boards in operation at the moment. One is linking to items within a second board. When I'm bringing back data to the first board about that item, I'm wanting to bring back data about that item's parent, but I can't seem to do it. It won't recognize that the item it's linked to details around its parent that I want to mirror back. Is there a way to do that?
So is it a sub item that you're mirroring?
Yes, it is a sub item. So I can see within a specific board, you can mirror a sub item attribute onto the parent, but I'm wanting to do a parent attribute down to a sub item that I can then mirror across.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Item link. Item on one, parent on one board linked to a sub item, but I want that parent's attribute, and it might be a customer flag or something like that. And I can't seem to get it to do it, or I'm looking for an automation that will take that parent attribute onto the item, which I can then mirror across.
Yeah, so you can obviously, as you realize, you can summarize sub items onto a parent item on a single board, but I don't believe you can do the other way around. Yep. So you're saying you're bringing an item across to a sub item, and then you want to show the attributes from there, is it?
Correct. Yeah. So the example is I've got a customer attribute on the parent. I create items within it. I've then got a second board that I'm linking to those items, but I want to know what that item's customer is, parent is.
Yes.
I think there is, sorry, I'm gonna jump in.
Thanks,
I think there is a way to do that. But it's really hard to visualizing right now. So if you get in we can get in a call with you, and then maybe you can show us, and then we will be able to maybe address that question. Mm-hmm. But I think there is a solution for that. I just need to see it properly.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Yeah. Sounds good. Any other questions, guys, or?
No, that's super. Thanks, Graham. Thanks for the questions so far. That's really good. So I'm going to talk to you then briefly. We're running later than we should do, so that's great. Well, it's not great. Sorry, it means that we've had lots to talk about, which is good. So let me just share again a bit here, and I'll take you through just some of the quick stuff about Monday AI. So we mentioned this on our last mug last month. So some of you may already have seen this. We just thought it was worth spending a minute or two, or more than a minute or two, a couple of minutes at least, telling you about this. This is a new feature. It's not released yet. We don't have absolute certainty on when it is. It's probably sort of September onwards. But I want to give you a bit more insight into it, just to whet your appetite, hopefully, in terms of what we've got. So Monday, like a lot of technology companies today, is working on an AI assistant, which will make Monday a little bit smarter in terms of what it does. So a big part of what we do with Monday is saving you time, making your job easier, making you more efficient. And this is a next step in that process. So I'm going to take you through some of the features of what is coming with Monday AI, and then I'm going to actually show you some of what it actually looks like today. I can't show you everything yet because it's not all there yet, but at least give you some example of what it looks like. So automated task generation. So this will give you a list of actually tasks depending on what you need to do. Monday can help you put together a to-do list for those tasks and give you a basis to start from. So really useful when you're starting maybe something different that you don't normally do. So we'll show you that in a second. And the other aspects that it's going to have as well, formula builder. So this is really clever. Personally, I find formulas really difficult. I can never quite get them right, and you've got to get the parentheses exactly right, and the spaces and the commas and so on. So Monday AI will actually help you build that formula. So you tell it what the formula is that you want to do, and it will actually build the formula for you. So I personally can't wait for that, because it's something that I really struggle with. So I'm really, really looking forward to that one. That'll be so cool. If I can just type in what I need and it will give me the answer, will be absolutely amazing. So again, can't show you that just yet today, but coming soon. Rephrase text. So this is really cool. So if you've got struggling to get, I find sometimes I can't get quite the level of language I need right. I can't quite get maybe the right level of professionalism in how I want to talk about something. So Monday AI will effectively rewrite your sentences for you so they sound more professional and more polished. Quite interesting. I will be able to show you a little bit of this in a minute, but that's quite cool. And it will also extend then into emails. So if you're writing emails in Monday, you're using the Sales and CRM emails and activities, and you write an email in there, you want to make it sound a little bit better, Monday will do that. So I'll show you some of that in a second. And then also something you can do then in Monday Docs is you can create summaries of complex topics. So if, for example, you've got meeting notes, you're taking meeting notes as part of a meeting, and you're using Monday Docs for that because you're possibly creating tasks from the meeting notes, you can use the AI assistant in Monday Docs to summarize the key action points from that doc. So again, really cool feature, really simple, just a way of analyzing that text and bringing it to a summary view then as well. I mentioned already about the emails and how you'd be able to do to basically write, edit emails faster, give you better language in terms of what you're doing. That's all the stuff that's coming. I'm going to show you now what actually I can show you today. So give me a second. I'll change my screen again. And I will show you one or two bits. I can't show you everything, but I'll show you at least some of what we're looking like. Don't need to see my calendar. There we go. Right, so this is my AI test board. So you can see here on my screen, I've got that same view layout that Amy was showing earlier on. So again, a little bit more space on the board. And you can see here, I've got AI Assistant enabled already on my board. So if I click into AI Assistant, I'm going to create a list of tasks. So here I'm going to pick the group. So I've got a projects group here on my board, and I'm going to say, right, create a list of tasks. Tasks. Maybe said hard to type when you're doing this live. Create a list of tasks for a project, for example. Okay, real simple one. Click generate. And it is now creating a list of tasks that I need to consider as part of a project. So there's all the tasks it's created. I can pick which ones I want or I don't want, and I'm now going to add them as items to my group. So you can see it's added those tasks to the board. And within my projects group, I now have a whole lot of tasks that I should consider when I'm kicking off a new project. If I do projects all the time, maybe it's not something I need to do, but maybe if I'm working on something new, I might want to do it. So let's look at another example. So I've got another group here called CRM. So I'm going to go back into my AI Assistant. I'm going to go pick my project, which is CRM, and create a list of tasks for implementing a new CRM and generate. So again, for something I don't do day to day, where I want some help in terms of what I should do, it's created a whole list of tasks that I need to do there. Add those items to my board. And there we go, straight away. I've got a whole list of tasks, which I can build on then from there in terms of implementing a new CRM. So that's just one example that exists already today. On my board, it may I say, be enabled potentially for you via Monday Labs. So I have that here. I think is in here. I'm not 100% sure on that. It's being rolled out gradually, so it may pop up in there on your account gradually. It's still being defined exactly when this will roll out, but hopefully that gives you an insight into some of the capabilities that are going to come from it. Last quick one I want to show you then as well is what I mentioned in terms of a doc. So doc, for those who aren't familiar, is how we can create a document within Monday. We can embed boards into it. We can embed dashboards. We can embed task lists into it. We've also got the AI assistant in here. And this could help me to, for example, create a template or summarize, like I mentioned earlier, a meeting notes, for example. So, for example, I can write, so let's say, write me an agenda for a board meeting. And I'm going to generate. Let's kind of a little think about that. There we go. So it's created a number of different things that I need to consider. I'm going to add those to my document. And here we go straight away. So I've got already sample agenda for a board meeting that I might be conducting. So maybe I'm new to that position and I need to do that, and I can create it from there. So that's just one example. So let me think of another one. So write me 5 tips for renting an office. Again, I was thinking about it in writing, and there we go. It's giving me those, and there's 5 things that I should consider about if I'm looking for a new office. So real quick insight into Monday, you can hopefully see the AI assistant actually working there already. Lots more to come from it, as I showed on the slides previously, but I hope that gives you a little bit of an insight into what's coming down the line and how realistically effective and useful it's going to be. So hope that was useful. I'm sure there's lots of questions on that.
We do have some questions in there, Martin. So Samvi, you've asked, how is the AI summary feature different from the notes comment section?
Sure, you want to expand on that?
Sorry, yes. Yeah, so you mentioned over there that there's this summary where you can basically, summarize your project details. Now, within mondaycom, there's always like a note section next to the items that we create. So I was wondering how it's different from the AI summary.
Sure. So you mean that when you've got an item, for example, so I've got an item here, I can open this up and I've got updates here. Yeah, so you've also got the AI assistant is available in here as well, so you can see it here. So for example, if I had loads of meeting notes in here, or summary of a call or details around a call, so I could be typing away on those, and then I could use the AI assistant in here. Again, for that same functionality. It's not working fully yet in the item. So the example I was showing you there was when we're using it in a Monday doc, where again I had a whole load of notes in here. I could use the AI assistant at this point to summarize it, but that function will come into the item as well.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Another question there from Laura Gaskell. I see you said, will Monday AI be part of mondaycom or will it be a separate app? So it is, as far as I'm correct in saying, that it will actually be within Monday. It's not going to be a separate app. It's built in.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so at the moment, it will be released to all accounts, as far as I'm aware at this point in time. What happens in the future, I don't know, but right now that's the plan. Will be released to all accounts, so it's not a separate. There's no extra subscription or anything for it at this point.
And it's across all plans as well.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. Another question: is the AI specific to Monday or built on pre-existing AIs like Chat AI, etc.? So this is specific to Monday, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, I don't know I don't know the back end of what's actually creating this. I don't know the answer to that, but personally, as a user, I just want to see it. I want to see it working for me.
Yeah, I want it to work for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I can take one or two, maybe more questions about that. 1 second now. Can the AI be used to create a report, possibly in Excel, rather than tasks, using specifics like date ranges, time tracking, project details?
Okay, great question. Not yet. Still early days with it, but hopefully, I think there's huge scope for it, but not yet.
And again, as we all know, with these mugs, even like the Monday platform, it's forever evolving. It's forever evolving into something better. So I'm sure the AI is going to be something. It's something that they're really excited about. So I know they're going to be putting lots of effort into making that the best that it can possibly be. So another good one from Samantha. So will the AI be able to write an automation for us? This is a very good one.
Yeah, so I believe it will. So again, still in development, but I've seen that it should be able to do that, where similar to the Formula One, where you'd be able to kind of put in place a scenario and it will be able to write that for you. Haven't seen that in practice yet, but I believe that's on the cards and hopefully something comes. That'd be really cool if that's the case.
Because with the formulas, you just need to prompt it, and then it will write the formula for you. Because I'm not a formula head, so I am not very good at them. So it's great to have that just to be able to put in the prompt, and then it does the work for you.
Yeah.
And then one last question: are the AI features all being released together, or will they be in different features be released in turn? In particularly interested in the formula generator.
Yeah.
I think again with the feature releases for the AI, as I said, they're going to be working on them continuously, so they won't all be released at the same time, as far as I'm aware. That'd be right, Martin?
Yeah,
And
I
that'll
think
be
so.
just progressed over time.
Yeah, so I mean, I think we see normally with day-to-day with Monday updates, they kind of roll out gradually across accounts and users. I was able to show you 2 of the AI aspects today, but not able to show you some of the others. So I think the rollout will be similar. So it will be gradual. So it's not going to be kind of big bang. AI is doing everything at a certain point in time, but likely that some of the features will come out first and others will follow on from there behind. And I'm sorry, I can't be more precise about when. I know they're working hard. I think, in fairness, the pace of development of Monday is normally fairly rapid, and they normally come sooner than we think. But yeah, at the moment, it's still likely to be a couple of months before it's in place.
Brilliant. There's no other questions in the chat. I'm just wondering if anybody has got any other questions for now. And if there isn't, if there's something that you may think about after the mug, feel free to obviously reach out to myself, Graham, or Martin, and we'll be happy to jump on a call for any queries that you have.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So thanks everybody for your time today. Really appreciate it. Hope it's been useful. Again, it's hard to get everything into the time we have, and we seem to go longer each time, which I guess is a good thing. My details are there on the screen. Graham and Amy, I think their email addresses are amy@providencecrm.com and graham@providencecrm.com. So if you want to get in touch with any of us there, and happy to address anything you might have in more detail on an individual level then as well. We will share the recording with you probably tomorrow before it goes to you. If you have additional questions on it, please do let us know. We run this every month, so we will have one again next month. If there's anything you want to see on that, please let us know. Anything particularly you'd like us to address, please let us know. Any of your colleagues who could benefit from coming along, please let us know as well, and hope to see you on the next one.